You learn, slowly and painfully, that pressure, docent come from the world as much as it comes from the stories you tell yourself about the world, and in the quiet spaces where your fear usually sits. You begin to understand why the Stoics returned again and again to the same gentle principles, simple truths that anchor you when everything feels unsteady. And these truths don't ignite adrenaline. They soften it, because real calm isn't loud or heroic. It's the quiet decision to remain with yourself when life pulls you in every direction. You learn that the first principle is acceptance. Not as defeat, but as clarity. A soft recognition that reality doesn't need your permission to exist. And once you stop resisting the moment, you stop exhausting yourself with illusions. You learn to separate what's yours to carry from what never was. Understanding that most pressure isn't actually yours, it's borrowed expectation, inherited fear, imagined catastrophe. And dropping what isn't yours feels like setting down a bag that has been digging into your shoulder for years. You remind yourself to return to the present, because pressure lives in the future and peace lives in the now. And when you breathe into the exact moment in front of you, the storm in your mind loses its authority. You trained your attention the way the Stoics trained theirs, gently and repeatedly, pulling it back from panic, back from projection, back from the spirals that feel real but aren't true. You let go of the need to control outcomes and redirect your energy toward your own actions, your choices, your words, your posture. Because there is a quiet power in focusing on what you can influence and releasing what you can. A power that feels like exhaling after holding your breath too long. You practice perspective, reminding yourself that most of what feels unbearable is temporary, that very few moments are as catastrophic as your mind claims, and that clarity often returns the moment you step back. You remember impermanence, not in a dark way but in a comforting one, because the truth that everything changes means that pressure changes too, and even the heaviest weight shifts when you stop gripping it with fear. You learn to do one thing at a time, slowly, deliberately, without rushing to escape the moment or outrun discomfort, because peace isn't found in speed, it's found in presence. You speak to yourself the way a wise teacher would, softly, honestly, without cruelty, knowing that harsh self-talk doesn't create strength. It creates collapse, and you begin choosing compassion over pressure, not because you're weak, but because you finally understand that gentleness is the birthplace of resilience. You lean into stillness, even if stillness feels foreign, even if your thoughts resist it, even if the silence makes you aware of everything you've been avoiding. Because calm isn't something you find, it's something you cultivate. And as these principles weave into your days, you notice a shift. Pressure doesn't vanish, but it loses its power to break you, because you are no longer fighting the moment or yourself within it. You start responding instead of reacting, breathing instead of bracing, observing instead of spiraling. And you realize that calm isn't the absence of stress, it's the presence of inner stability. And this stability doesn't come from perfection. It comes from practice, from returning again and again to the truths that anchor you. Accept what is. Release what isn't yours. Stay present. Control your actions, not your outcomes. Zoom out. Remember impermanence. Go slowly. Speak gently. Embrace stillness. And trust that calm is built, not found. And somewhere in the soft repetition of these truths, you begin to understand the deepest Stoic lesson of all. Peace isn't awarded to those who conquer, given to those who refuse to feed it. And choosing peace is not a dramatic gesture, it's a quiet one, a daily one, a subtle returning to yourself when the world pulls you apart. So you breathe, you soften, you stay, and you let these principles settle into your bones until calm becomes less of a moment and more of a way of moving through your life, steady, grounded, and quietly untouchable.